Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about descendant and child operators. What descendant and child operators are is they allow you to access specific tags by accessing the parent of other tags. So I know that sounds kind of confusing, but that's okay. I'll explain it all in broader detail right now. So first of all, I want to describe what we have right now. This is just resuming from last tutorial, but we have a divider. And inside that divider, we have 3 paragraph tags. We have my content, some more content, even more content, and these are all paragraph tags. So if we go into our style.css, sorry, these will all be black if you're following from the last tutorial. So if we go into our style.css, we have a body tag and a div tag that are being accessed. The body is being set to a background color of green, and so the divider is being set to a background color of white. And of course we have our paragraph tags within there and our header 3 tags, which look like this. So what would we do if we wanted to change the color of these paragraph tags? Well, this is really easy. We've already gone over this, but remember, if we want to change the paragraph tag color, we just type P and we set the color to whatever color we want. So let's say blue, not blur, blue. So what this is going to do is it's going to access all paragraph tags on our page, so this one and this one, and it's going to set it to a blue color. So if we refresh the page, it's blue. Now, what if we wanted to create another paragraph tag? Well, that's quite simple. We just type P, and then we write, another paragraph. Save that. Refresh the page, and you see that another paragraph is now blue. All right. So what happens if we only want to access these specific paragraph tags that are inside this divider? So in other words, we only want these paragraph tags to be blue. We want this one to stay black. Well, that's also really simple. What we need to do is we need to change this tag. So you remember it said P, and this accesses all paragraph tags on the page. We want to say that we want to access divider, and then we want to access the paragraph tag within that divider. So to do that, we type div space P space brackets. And all that says is I want to access the divider, I want to access the paragraph tag, and then I want to change color. So now we can type color blue. Now if we refresh the page, this is what happens. So it's quite simple. All we're doing is we are accessing our divider right here, then we're accessing our paragraph tag right here, and then we're setting the colors to blue. And that's it. Now we're not accessing this paragraph tag because it's not inside a divider. Now, I mean, if this was inside a divider, like so, then we could refresh and we would see this one will be blue. Now, of course, we can just delete those dividers and we'll be set. Okay, so let's say I had a span in here. Now I'm going to type span/span. Now, if you're making an elaborate web page, you're going to have multiple dividers, you're going to have multiple spans, all inside each other. It's going to be crazy. So let's say you had a span with inside this divider and you wanted to make a paragraph tag that says my content. All right. So if we go ahead and we refresh the page, my content is blue. Okay. That makes sense because right here we're accessing the divider and then we're accessing all paragraph tags within that divider. So that includes this one, and this one. However, let's say we only wanted to access paragraph tags that are directly inside of our divider. So you see, if I expand this span, we have a paragraph tag inside of it. So if we access the divider and all paragraph tags, right now we're including this one. However, let's say we only wanted these two to be blue. And maybe the reason for that is because, it's maybe a different content on your web page. So that's really simple. And that's where the child descendant operator comes in. So first of all, let me explain child and parent relationships in CSS and HTML. It's actually a really simple concept. It may seem a little bit confusing at first, but that's okay. Everything does. So let's say that body is a parent of divider. So what that means is, let's say, body is a parent and has a kid named divider, and then divider has a kids named paragraph, span, and header 3. Now, of course, if you think of, simple family stuff, the parent of paragraph is divider, and the child of div is p, along with the other p in the span and the header 3. And the child of span is paragraph. And of course, the parent of span, the parent of p is span. So I know this seems kind of repetitive and stupid, but it does come in handy to kind of understand a parent-child relationship. So let's say we only wanted the children of this div, who are paragraphs, to be blue colored. So we can do that. All we need to type in is div is greater than p. Now what this greater than operator means is I want you to access only the direct child relationships of p. So if I save this and I go and I refresh, you see that my content is now black because it doesn't have a color applied to it. However, the two direct descendants of div are now blue. So if I go here, we're saying div, this child and this child I want to be blue. However, since you, Mr. P, are not a direct descendant of divider, I don't want you to have anything applied to it. Now, you may make the mistake of typing something like div and then div in here. So you will have dividers within dividers on your web pages. However, if you do this, you'll notice something. Refresh the page. Now this is blue. Now I made the mistake when I was first recording this tutorial. That's why I needed to delete some CSS at the very beginning. And the reason for this is because if you go into your CSS, you'll notice that we're accessing every single divider on the page and every single paragraph tag of the divider's descendant. So that includes this combination, but that also includes this combination, if that makes sense. So that's why I used span instead of div here. However, you can also use classes and IDs with child descendant operators. For example, if I had ID equals my div, and I saved this, I could go into my style.css and put hashtag my div, and you would notice if I went and refreshed the page, now we're back to normal with this paragraph tag being black, because we're only accessing child operators within my div, or this one. Now hopefully that makes sense. I know it's a little bit confusing. I hope I wasn't being too repetitive, but I just wanted to make sure you understood what child operators do and what descendant operators do in the first place. So let's recap really quickly. You remember that descendant operators look like this. They're very simple. All they say is every single div on the page and every single p that comes after the div, I want you to apply a color to. Now, child operators are a little bit more confusing, whereas you need to put a greater than sign, which says every single div and every single child of that div that is a paragraph tag, I want you to apply a color to, or, set a font weight, or really anything you want. But just remember, these two are really important. But yeah, that's basically it for child and descendant operators. One more thing, you don't need to use ID. Really, you can also use classes or ID, whichever one you want. That was just a little quick blurb. But yeah, so that's basically it for child and descendant operators, and I will see you in the next tutorial.